Traffic literally sucks today, like worse than normal. It's bumper to bumper, and there was a cop in front of me. I'm pretty sure he turned on his lights to go around everything, and there's not even a wreck. Most of the time, it's because people don't know how to merge.
I'm saying, hey, won't you let me sing a song about never letting go? I'm saying, hey, won't you let me love you? I'm saying, hey, won't you let me sing a song?
So I lied, there was a wreck, but even though traffic sucked, today's Monday, so I love Mondays. Most people hate Mondays, they have to go back to work, but I don't really get a whole lot of weekends off in the springtime, so it's not like I'm going back to work. It's just the start of a new week for me, and you have no idea what the week's gonna bring. I look at it as there's so much opportunity, and you just have to make the best of it. So even when traffic sucks or you have a bad day, like there's always tomorrow, and Monday is always the next week. So a clean slate, and sure, I have bad days or bad weekends, deals fall apart, things happen, but that's life. Like nothing's ever going to be perfect, and it's all about how you look at it and how you react to it and how you bring upon those opportunities to make something good with them. So with that, my cup of coffee's done, so I'm ready to get after it, make the best of this Monday. Here this afternoon, we're going to go through MI Homes. They have a new development, new model home that they're going to show us. MI has the best decorations in their homes, by far, I think. So hopefully we'll get to go through, check those out, and we'll show you some cool stuff.
Dream alone, oh you dream with me. Dream alone, oh you dream with me. If I dream alone, oh you dream with me. Let's talk. I don't know why you don't to me, because I just want you to stay with me. Your touch, like a candle burns off my skin. My love, tell me why you are all I see. November, a lonely goodbye in that dirty old car, left away from me. But maybe your sweet blurry eyes didn't catch what it was, and you felt afraid. Your heart a symphony, and I know it will be safe.
Now we are walking through the park in Creekside, at Creekside, which is right next to where our office is at in Gahanna. Walking through that new build at MI kind of reminded me of my first real estate transaction. It was actually a new build too. When I first got into the business, I didn't know how to help people buy or sell homes. You know, they teach you about contracts and everything like that, and what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do, but they don't teach you how do you actually find clients. So what I did, I just held open house after open house after open house, whether it was a Saturday, a Sunday, sometimes even it may have been a Wednesday evening. I would sit and hold an open house. The idea behind that would be somebody would come through who was not using a realtor, whether that was an individual, a couple, whoever it might be, who needed help navigating the process of buying a home. And it sucked. Like, it was not easy. I did about 10 or 11 of them before somebody actually came through. And during that time, all I kept thinking about was, growing up, my mom always told me, hard work pays off. If you're persistent with something and you keep doing it and you keep at it, eventually it's going to pay off. So luckily, like I said, it was the 10th or 11th one, and somebody came through the house. They were looking to buy a condo as a family. So I just started showing them houses. They would ask me questions and I would set up showings for them, and eventually earn the trust that I could help them and assist them in finding a home. Oh, awesome. Score for Josh, right? Not so fast. Like I said, I'm a newer agent at that time, so bug up the nose. I'm a newer agent at that time. I don't really know what I'm looking for in a house when we're walking through. So I haven't learned the steps to look for certain cracks and things like that. And we walk through this house, they like it, they end up writing an offer on it. So we write an offer on this house, right? And the other agent, for whatever reason, had to look me up. As real estate agents, we can look up each other's license number, and you can tell, for the most part, from the license number, how long you've been doing business. So like I said, this agent had to have looked me up and seen that I was a new agent, brand new licensed agent, and for whatever reason was just a complete asshole to me the entire transaction. So my folks went through, we had the inspection done. I don't know what I'm looking for in a house. The inspection comes back and it wasn't that bad. But these folks were a little nitpicky, and at that time I couldn't explain to them what was a serious problem, what wasn't a serious problem, what was normal wear and tear. So they ended up terminating the deal because of inspections. They didn't want to buy the house. And as I said, the a-hole agent was just even worse to me. And I will never forget that. To this day, if I have clients who want to look at one of his listings or he shows one of my listings, I make sure they know that. Like, it's just something I will never ever forget him or his name. So once my clients, my new clients, my first clients experienced that and went through the inspections and everything, they realized that they just wanted a new home. They wanted a brand new house, a new build. So with that, I have no clue how to navigate that either. Can I even help people, you know, buy a new house? Is that something we as real estate agents have access to? So I had to navigate that whole process. And that's an entire different story for you. Right now I have a couple other appointments. I have to meet Matney back at the office and then have some showings this afternoon. But later this evening I'm gonna come back and explain the second half of this story and how we went into contract on a new build. All right, let's see what Matney's up to. You guys remember the Monopoly board from the first log? What's going on? You're on the vlog.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
So, what was your first real estate transaction like?
Oh boy, nervous. Went well. I had a lot of help, thank God, but it went very well, just because I had the help and people to mentor me through it. So, and I had clients that were understanding too.
How long ago was that? About 60, 70 years ago?
About 90 years ago.
Back to all the better days when I used to be young and free. I remember her like it was yesterday. She was so beautiful to me. In my mind sometimes I'll run away to this time back in history. She reminds me of the summertime way back in 2003. I've been chilling on the coast with my homegirl. The palm trees and the time moving slow, girl. Back to my place, hey, you can call it home, girl. Pina coladas on tap, we alone, girl. I want a piece of you, you want a piece of me. Ray-Bans on, gotta block out the heat. I love your smile too, I've never felt so free. Bring it on, girl, work that body here to me. And I know that summer only lasts 3 months, yeah. We got the whole world, travel with me, girl. And we'll never stop chasing the sun. That's right. On the run, we ain't done till we find what we want, so we can stop anytime.
All right, we're back at the office. It's been a long day, but I wanted to finish up my story earlier about how my first real estate deal actually ended. So like I said, they wanted to buy a home at Fisher Homes. So I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to go about it. I went to our office manager and asked, you know, what is the process in a new build? How do you help somebody buy a new build? Do they just go to the builder without you? Do they use you? You know, what is the process? So I went and talked to some seasoned agents. They said that you can never negotiate with a new build. they always have their set prices. They're not going to do this, they're not going to do that. Well, I didn't know any better, so I went to them, and the house that they ended up wanting to buy was a spec home. It was already built. It wasn't like they had to pick out, you know, their faucets and their fixtures and things like that. So, like I said, I didn't know any better. I went and we came in under what they were asking. The other agent, the guy who was representing the builder, came back and said, okay, let me take this to whoever his bosses were. And eventually they came back and we got the house for lower than what they were actually asking for it. Great, fantastic. We go back to Fisher Homes and sit down and go to negotiate everything, to write up all the paperwork. I've never written an offer before, have no idea what exactly I'm doing. I've done it in training and classes, but never really actually written one. I figured I'd have the time to do that at my kitchen table or at a desk or someplace where I can really think about it. Not the case. So it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night now as we're going back to Fisher Homes to get this deal done. I've already had the bad experience with the first agent, so of course I thought this guy was out to get me too. I didn't think he was actually going to include me in the deal. He started writing up the contract, writing up the offer, which now I know is completely normal for a builder to do. But at that time, no idea. I thought it was weird, so I'm calling my office manager. I'm trying to sneak out to make it look like I'm not actually on the phone. I'm sneaking out to call her saying, hey, is this normal? What is this, you know, what's going on? How do I handle this? How do I make sure that I'm included in on this deal? So I had to call her like 3 or 4 times, which Susan Molinex, you're awesome. I'm sure you still are. I haven't talked to you in years, but then you're very awesome, and I'm so, so thankful for that. So I call Susan 3 or 4 times, and it gets down to where I'm walking out constantly, and I don't know my numbers. I don't know the different things that I'm supposed to be putting into the contract. So he keeps asking me, what goes here, what goes there, you know, my license number, things like that, that now I have memorized, but at that point, I had no clue. I didn't know I needed to know them. So I'm texting her, trying to secret dial her and get all this information out. And here it's 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and I'm just scared to death that this isn't gonna go through. After all the contract was written, it was one of the easiest deals of my life. There's no real inspections, no real appraisals. You don't have to worry about anything once you're in contract, 'cause it's a new build. You know, you have your final walk and whatnot, but there's nothing really that's gonna go wrong with it other than financing like you would on a traditional sale. So after all that panic and everything, it was one of the easiest deals I've ever had. And as my first deal in real estate, I thought it was gonna be a breeze from there on out. I thought every deal went like that and everything was so easy, and it's not at all. It was a real rude, wide awakening after that to see that, you know, you really struggle at first to get deals done, to get things going. You know, there's a huge learning curve that you go through when you're a new agent, and you have to find out, you know, what's right, what's wrong, what can you negotiate, what can't you negotiate, when do you push, when do you pull. It's really an art in essence, it really is. So that was my first real estate deal. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog. Comment below, let me know, what else would you guys like to see? Is there something you want to see me do, something you want to see throughout my day, something you're curious about that goes on? Let me know, comment below, or send me a text, message me. And I hope you guys are enjoying these.
I think back to all the better days when I used to be young and free. I remember her like it was yesterday. She was so beautiful to me. In my mind sometimes I'll run away.